Well, good morning from the North Face car park outside Fort William, and plan today is to do Ben Nevis via Càrn and Dearg, and yeah, weather today is looking absolutely fantastic, so looking forward to get going and getting these tops done. Well, here's our first view of Ben Nevis, and the route today goes up that shoulder and that kind of second bump with the tour on top. That is the first Munro, Càrn and Dearg, and then you can see the Càrn and Dearg Arête just going across the top of the quarry there, and then the summit will be at the back. Then the route kind of just takes us all the way down at the back there, and then across this plateau, and then back down to here. So it's a bit of a loop. And then that's looking out to Fort William, and I think that's Loch Eel at the back there, according to the map. And that should be the start of, or this kind of general area is the start of the Cape Raft Trail. You kind of get the ferry across and make your way along there. There is also the option of getting the Càrn ferry, and then you'd make your way down Cona Glen, which is kind of over that hill there. So definitely something on my mind to do in the future, but a lot of training needed for that. We're just up into a bit of elevation now. It's basically all the way from the kind of trees there. That's where we started. Followed the river up, and then you take a. You can kind of see where it's kind of a bit darker. Basically, just like a boggy path upwards, and it's basically all up. So I wouldn't want this to be my last Munro. James from Munro Bagging Journey. It's a bit mean on those trying to come up for your last Munro. It's very steep. Wow. Now just a little bit of height to go up until the Munro top. And then you can see it's the CIC hut they call it. And then that's the Arête just ahead. Probably can't see it well on the camera, but there's plenty of little figures on the ridge there. But I didn't see much people behind me, so I think I've timed it well. I'm starting a little bit later in the day. I think I started about 10 o'clock. And that's us up at the Munro top. Just looking over at Arête Moor. See with the ski setup at the top there, and then just through the gap there, you can see Arête Beg. Bye. It was a good day. So a better look at the annex. And then that's Càrn and Dearg there. And then round to the bend. First good look into the Moors as well. And then into Glencoe beyond that. Yes, wind's picked up a little bit, so I think we'll probably just have a wee bit of lunch down there with the southwesterly wind coming in, and then we'll get Càrn and Dearg done, and then we'll get the Arête crossing. So that's looking across to the full Arête now. See a very clear direction of where to go. Wind's just picked up a little bit, but it's coming and going. So just take care. I've heard the research I've done, I don't think it's overly difficult, but as with any kind of rocky ridge, just got to make sure you get your footholds and just be sensible. Really lovely view out to the Moors now. Got in the middle there, ring of steel, into the eastern Moors, and then the two outliers just behind the ridge there. So a fantastic set of hills. And just noticed there as well, just through the Arête gap there, you've got the Grey Corries, very aptly named. Yeah. Plan was to do them this week as well, but apparently the access to the start point, or at least one of the start points, has been locked off. I wonder if they're doing road repairs, because I've heard it was a pretty dodgy road with potholes. So, but we'll get them done eventually. It's another good day out, so I'm told. Making good progress along the ridge here, maybe just about halfway. There are bypass paths I can see to the sides, but sometimes I think it's a bit more conducive to just go along the top. On a dry day like this anyway, I mean these Solomons here are absolutely just gripping into the rocks, so really nice view into the quarry there. I don't know about you, I think when you see Ben Nevis from a lot of hills, you kind of just see that kind of big shoulder and then the sudden drop, but here it's almost got that kind of peaky view to it. I think this is probably the best view of Ben Nevis, I think. That's really quite impressive and really quite intimidating as well. But anyway, I'll crack on. I'm not too sure what this cairn is, but don't know if it signifies the end of the ridge. But that's the full ridge. Not too bad, actually quite enjoyed that. Obviously in good conditions. But reminded me of lots of parts of Dearg last August. Certain parts is the boulder hopping. And then you got probably the best view of the moors, I think. Starting west to east. It's stunning. Then there's Ben Nevis. So we've just got the boulder field just to contend with. Some fast moving clouds up top, so I reckon there's probably a wee bit of wind, but I don't think we'll hang around on the top, to be honest. But once we get it done, we'll get it done and then just get off. The most thing I was looking forward about this route was actually the Arête, so or Arête, however you pronounce it. But let's crack on. So I think there's the boulder field, and it's just pick your route and watch your step. Make sure your footing's quite good. Good for the old cardio anyway. Well, that's a different view of Ben Nevis. It's the top there and then the shelter. And then that's Càrn Dearg in the middle. Fantastic rock face there, the north face. Rock climbing's not my gig, but I wonder what the popular routes are up. Not for me. Really good to get that done. And it's maybe not the best Munro in Scotland, but definitely coming from Càrn Dearg over the Arête definitely makes it a really, really good hill. So I really enjoyed that today. That's a nice little view. You can essentially see where the West Highland Way kind of, you see that long fire road just to the left there, you might see a line coming through the trees, and then it comes into that valley and then rejoins and snakes down there into Ben Nevis, and the campsite's down there and Fort William. So It's hard to think it was only been 2 months since I did the West Island Way, but I've already been back a few times. I really like the area. So essentially the plan is we're going to get to the end of these zigzags, and then we're going to take where the tourist track goes left, we're going to go right towards that lock-in down there, and that'll take us back through to the forest. So the path coming off the tourist path goes along the loch, and then becomes pretty indistinct, and it's a case of just picking your own route. And so we just made our way down there, and then that's kind of one final look at the two Munros together. Càrn Dearg on the top left, and then obviously the Ben on the right there. So nice perspective of the hills, and yeah, could be luckier with the weather. Well, I'm just back at the North Face car park, and so Càrn Dearg and Ben Nevis, it was 12.5 miles in 9 hours, so a fairly long day after the Black Mount Traverse yesterday, but all in all a good day. Really enjoyed to approach Ben Nevis via the Arête, and yes, so you know the script by now. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, all the good stuff, and we'll see you on the next video.